All right, there we go. There is nothing so beautiful like when finally you get the right computers to work. It is nothing as fascinating as it. All this time I've been tearing down laptops upon laptops, laptops upon laptops until finally Best Buy said no more. What you do in life, you will tear a very serious, strong laptop. You will tear it up within 1 month. So we have to exchange the last one for a very heavy desktop, and this one is going to last for me. So this is really doing its job. You guys can see how all the videos are coming through really quick because this is super fast. This is made for this kind of thing. Yeah. So this is very good.
I'm here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Good. I'm so happy that we are able to record and edit, and then it just run by itself. So that is so cool. So that while I'm ministering to people on the phone, it's just doing its job and I do not need to touch it. Just put it on edit, do this, do that, boom, it's on. And of course, it's something that I've been doing for some years now that I've mastered it. If I was to have somebody doing all this for me, they will be charging me. They will turn me into a hunchback dwarf by now. Whew. Last night, last night was just amazing. Florence, welcome. Florence, welcome.
Thank you, Bishop.
Yeah, we are very happy to have you today.
Thank you. Hi, Florence. How are you? Hi. I was just enjoying listening to the banter earlier.
Yeah, that's very good.
I was just about to ask you, did you hear what he was saying
Yeah, hmm Yeah,
Oh boy.
Marjorie, Marjorie, I got the pictures. Thank you for sharing your family with me. But we have not seen you on our conference, so don't stay away. I know that your airline has been merged with airlines that you don't like, but don't worry about it. Okay. Um, you need a new thing.
I am on the line.
Oh, you are on the line. Look at you.
Yes.
Wow. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Did your airline, did Air France get merged with the Madagascar airline?
Not Air France, but Aerostrom, my
Eh,
airline in which I work.
Okay, the Aerostro. They are now merged with Air Madagascar.
Yeah, and that is not a good thing at all.
Did they buy up Air Madagascar or they just merge?
They merge, but they are putting a lot of money in that rubbish airline.
Wow. I know that you don't like that place. I do, but what can I say?
I hate that.
Yeah, that's why. Isn't that the reason why we should have our own airline so that you can manage it because you are a professional in that field? You're very good at what you do.
Yes, I'd like to.
Yeah, I've been watching you. I've been watching you. I like the fact that your motto in life is easy come, easy go.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. So that's very good. That's very good. I just really like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just want to let Jesus be aware that I know that Friday is his day. In the next meeting, I will let him know. I will wear purple. Um, But let him just know that this particular session is dedicated to the Holy Spirit. And I hope that the Trinity understand that. Okay. Yeah. So, Marjorie, get in touch with me after the conference, okay, sweetie?
Yes, I will.
All right. And remember what is the covenant between us? Whatever you want, I'll tell them to give it to you. You remember that?
Yes, of course.
Okay. You already saw what is happening in the other side that was being denied you and how things began to move for you in that area. So I want to know and I want to make sure that you are a real estate owner out there in the two islands. That's my desire for you. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you have it. That's the best way for me to put it. Because I tested the water and I said, your inheritance must be given. That's what I said. And then it began to be given bit by bit. So since that has happened, I'm pretty sure that I can get anything for you. Okay?
Yes.
Let's go to
Hi, the laundry. Hi.
now. Let's look at verse number 4. Verse 4 of 1 Samuel 17. All right. Somebody who is moving around or doing something, you can now press mute. You can now press mute. We are waiting for you. We are waiting for somebody. Either people are doing something around you or you are. Can you press mute? Every little thing you do, we pick it up. Our microphone is very, very sensitive. So just press mute and keep doing what you are doing and keep listening at the same time. All right, let's go. This is 1 Samuel chapter 17. We are going to verse 4 again. I will also have somebody. Marjorie, I would like you to have your French Bible ready also. Please, if you have a fan blowing before you or behind you, can you mute yourself? There is somebody, you have a fan in your house. We are picking it up. Okay, verse number 4. Can you read it to us in French? 1 Samuel 17, verse 4. Make sure you open that verse, Marjorie.
Yes, it is open. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 4.
Yeah, you will be helping us to read in French some of the verses, so keep it open.
Yes. Un homme sortit alors du camp des Philistins et s'avança entre les deux armées. Il se nommait Goliath. Il était de Gath et il avait une taille de 6 coudées et un entaim.
Okay, go to verse 5.
Sur sa tête était un casque d'airain et il portait une cuirasse à écailles du poids de 5000 cycles d'airain.
Verse 6 and verse 7.
Il avait aux jambes une armure d'airain et un javelot d'airain entre les épaules.
Okay. Then verse 8.
I'm going to verse 7 first.
Okay.
Le bois de sa lance était comme une ensouple de tisserand et la lance pesait 600 cycles de fer. Celui qui portait son bouclier marchait devant lui.
Okay.
Verse 8. Le Philistin s'arrêta Et s'adressant aux troupes d'Israël rangées en bataille, il leur cria: Pourquoi sortez-vous pour vous ranger en bataille? Ne suis-je pas le Philistin? Et vous n'êtes pas, et n'êtes-vous pas des esclaves de Saul? Choisissez un homme qui descende contre moi.
Okay. Just keep that
End of
verse 8. Just keep that chapter open in case I need you to say something or to read something. Is there somebody who has your word open, the sacred scriptures open to 1 Samuel 17 so that you can read with me? Let's go to verse 4.
I got it.
Okay. And there went out. Not that there stood. It says went out. There went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines. There is a champion already made by hell that oppose your parents, oppose your nation. There is a champion in the camp that you don't know or you know. There is a champion, well-trained, formidable. There is a champion from the camp of hell. There is a champion from the camp of the universe, the same universe that you and I belong to, well-trained and ready. Before you came, they're already here waiting for you. And you have no idea whatsoever. And you are walking blindly through the earth. We are talking about supernatural warfare. That's why never take up a job without consulting me. Never get into a marriage without talking to me about it first. Never start a business. Many a times people want to travel to other countries. I will say to them, be in consultation with me first. Let me prepare you. Don't start college without talking to me so that I get you prepared. That's why you go to your job and there will be so much opposition because nobody prepared you to be a champion. See what the King James Version says? And there went out a champion. Is that the same way it is written in French? Verse 4. Marjorie, is that the same thing?
Yes, it's the same, yes.
Champion. What do you mean by champion? When we say somebody is a champion,
Is a winner.
a winner, someone that has been tried, tested, he's put every other people in their place. He's the top dog. Nobody has been able to defeat him. That's the meaning. He has defeated everybody. Every battle he has gone into, he has won. It means he's the leader. He's the chief of the fighters. You can't kill him. He's been killing other people. He has the brain. He has the intelligence. He has the smartness. And he also has the physical skill. So he has the spiritual skill. He has the mental skill. And he has the physical skill. Formidable. Enter into battle with him. He'll put you in your place very quickly. This war was to be decided differently. This is why God calls you to warfare, because there are champions already there. There are businesses that were already established long before your father and mother and great-great-grandfather were born. There are people who have already built a business. But you need to build one that will be bigger than the ones that were there before your grandfather and grandmother were born. There are families who already own all the real estate in your city. But you're gonna have them too. You're gonna buy them out and build new ones, or put them out of business and take over. That's what champions do. There went out of the camp champion of the Philistines, named Goliath of Gath. He was from the city of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span, like 9 feet. And you see, this is why you need to be prepared. This is why you don't need your Christianity just to be an empty Christianity or a show Christianity. Why? Because there are people whose religion has prepared them for a fight against you. They hate you. They hate that you are European. They hate that you are from Asia or you are from the Middle East. They hate you that you are of the African race. They hate you because you are from the West Indies. You're a Caribbean person. They hate you because you are of African ancestry. They hate you because you are of the Americas, that is, of Spanish speaking or Portuguese speaking. They hate you because you are from North America, USA and Canada. They hate you for your language that you speak. You speak French, you speak German. Why don't you speak what we speak? I want you to be aware that there are people who will not make chance for you, who will not connect you. There are people who want your marriage destroyed. In fact, they don't want you to be married. They don't want you to be happy. There are people who don't want you to have money. They don't want you to have any money. They want you to be a beggar. There are people who don't want you to go to school. They don't want you to go to college. They just want you grow up, you start seeing your menstrual cycle, they start thinking about giving you out for marriage. No professional preparation, no educational training, nothing. No training about finances, nothing. You just moving like that. Many of us, we came into life like that. We just moving blindly into the world. And that's why we have suffered. That's why many of us are late bloomers in terms of finances and material resources. We came late. Why? Your family did not prepare you for that. Your religion did not prepare you for that. Then why do you think that I should owe allegiance to such a religion or to such a family? I will never. How many of you did your parents sit you down to talk to you and train you on the art of friendship, relationship, marriage, or family life? Very few. How many of you did your parents sit you down to train you on how to bank, how to manage money? Very few. How many of you did your parents train you on how to handle stress and crisis of life? They told you about the good things about life, gave you food, sent you to school. Nobody told you about how to handle and manage life itself. Nobody. You have to learn that yourself. How many of you women were trained on how to be a mom? None. Very few. You learn it by yourself. They tell you, take it like a woman. I don't know what that means. Take it like a woman. And that's why they tell you, take it like a woman. Lay there. Stay there. Go back. Even when the thing is not working, you are being beaten every time. You are emotionally abused and destroyed. They tell you to take it like a woman. Others, they tell you, oh, be a man and shut up. Instead of telling you the way to do it or to model for you how it is done. Go and take it like a woman. Marjorie, is that not what is happening to women?
Yes. That's true, yes.
Take it like a woman. Until you go and commit suicide, you suffer from major depression that you cannot recover from. Major emotional trauma that you will not return back to normalcy. How do you prepare your children if a divorce or a separation, I call it separation, if you are to regain your history and not connect it to somebody else? There's nothing like divorce. It's about disconnecting yourself from somebody else. That's what I call it. You don't like that person doesn't like you for so many reasons. You disconnect yourself. That's the meaning of it. You were not born with that person. That person doesn't own you. By signing a marriage certificate does not mean that somebody else owns you or somebody else's family owns you and have authority to deal with you the way they want. No. You have to be aware of this, especially women need to learn this. Because men think that they own you guys. By signing a paper, they own you. The person who owns you is your mother and father and God, who put you in there and wrap you in skin and flesh and bones. It's not the man who owns you. Because that's what people used to think in the ancient world. You can own somebody. You can buy and sell people. That's the mentality of devils. Human beings are not to be owned. They are not to be killed. They are only to be loved. If you cannot love them, leave them alone.
Yes.
And nobody prepare you for this. If a man doesn't love you anymore, he's messing around out there, stay there. Save as much money as possible, including his money. Save as much as possible. And then you go and start your own thing. If you're a good fighter, you stay there and chase him out of that house. And give him his luggage for him to leave. If you don't know how to do it, tell me, I will show you. I have a fighter. I have a Goliath who knows how to do it. Unfortunately, she's not a Goliath. She is like a David. She'll give you a run for your money. I have women in my ministry who knows how to do it. They will teach you how to be a strong woman. I have a woman in New York, Miss Ann. She will prepare you for it, and she will not look back. I have Roslyn. That's my champion. She will show you how women do it, and you don't need to turn back. There are certain things somebody does to you, you shut your emotion down forever and move on. You don't need to be crying over somebody and that person is busy enjoying their life Are you serious? Listen, a champion came out. And let's see what he came out to do. Why you need supernatural warfare. There are champions who are already there waiting for you. They don't want to make space for you. They don't want to connect you. They do not want to do it. Somebody should read the next verse. Somebody should read the next verse. Who is calling our line, our office line? Who is this?
Oh, hello. This is Archbishop. This is Joy calling from Scotland.
Call me back in an hour's time or two. We are on a conference right now. Okay, thank you.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Number 5?
Somebody should read number 5.
Okay. He had a bronze helmet on his head.
Hold on. Let's see how qualified David was with this guy who has been fighting war since he was a young man. Let's begin again.
Okay. He had a bronze helmet on his head.
Okay.
And he was armed with a coat of mail.
Okay.
And the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of bronze.
Wow. That's heavy. That's heavy. Which means you throw a spear at him, it will not enter. Wow. Wow. So this guy was like what do we call that military it rolls, it has, instead of tires, it has chain on it. What do we call that? It has chain on it, and it has one long mouth that shoot out, that bump places. What do we call that? Yeah, tanks. Yeah. This man was a tank on 2 legs. There are some of those tanks, they build them. You shoot at them, it doesn't penetrate. And somebody is inside them shooting and bombing every place. Bringing hell. This man was like this. Bullet cannot penetrate. He was totally covered up. Wow. The coat was 5, it didn't say 500, 5,000 shekels of brass. 5,000. That's what was used. The bronze or the brass. That's what was used to make his coat. Okay, this should tell you how much pound this man weigh. For him to be able, and how strong he is, for him to be able to wear this kind of thing. Is this something for a little man to wear? Even somebody that is 500 pounds, can that kind of person wear this kind of stuff? No, you cannot. This tell you how.
126 pounds.
Eh?
126 pounds.
126 pound weight.
Yeah.
That's pretty heavy. All right, let's go. What's the next thing?
And he had bronze armor on his legs, and and a bronze javelin between his shoulders.
Hold on. Read that verse 6 again.
Okay. And he had bronze armor on his legs, and a bronze javelin between his shoulders.
Wow. Between his shoulders. So his body was covered, his legs was covered, his arm is covered, his shoulders are covered. So where are you going to shoot into? Where are you going to shoot an arrow into him? This is incredible. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now, the staff of his spear was like a weaver's beam.
Hold on. The staff of his what?
Spear.
Of his spear was like a weaver's beam.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That is the weaver's beam. The olden days, what the kind of wood they use in creating, making cloth, that length, and it's about 2.5 inches in diameter.
That's the kind of thing they use in making cross for hanging people.
Yeah.
Repeat that again.
Now the staff of his spear was like a weaver's beam.
Now explain to us what a weaver's beam is, Mary.
Yeah, it is. In the olden days, they used to do within the length of that weaving.
Okay.
It's 6.35 centimeters that long.
3.5 centimeter.
6.35 centimeters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And in inches, it's 2.5 inches.
2.5 inches. And that is exactly the length of the cross.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty tall. That's pretty cool. Wow. This guy was a walking machine for war. Continue.
And his iron spearhead weighed 600 shekels. And a shield bearer went before him.
One bearing a shield went before him. So he did not even carry his own shield. This is crazy. So there is somebody that holds his shield. So this is very interesting. Somebody say coward. Is that right?
Yes.
Somebody else has to bear his shield. So it must be a very big shield. It must be a very big shield. So all you see is the shield coming because of how tall and how huge this guy is. We should assume that it's not a little man that is carrying this guy's shield. It must be a very big shield. So all you see is the shield coming. You don't even see the person behind the shield. Wow. Continue. Verse number 8.
Then he stood and cried out to the armies of Israel and said to them, "Why have you come out to line up for battle? Am I not a Philistine? And you, the servant of Saul, choose a man for yourself, and let him come down to me.
Okay. Are you guys listening? Wait. Wait. Listen. Am I not a Philistine? Are you guys not servants of Saul? Choose a man. Choose somebody among yourself who is like me, who is a champion, who is a master fighter, who understands the art of one-on-one combat, who understands the art of ancient and modern battles. Tell him to come and face me. Let all of us not waste our time and spilling each other's blood. Let's do it like our forefathers used to do it. See what he was saying here. In ancient times, sometimes the two feuding group do not need, the two countries or two cities or two tribes or whatever, two nations do not need to fight. All they need to do is this. The king of, say, the north and the south are fighting. So they will decide it this way. Who conquers who will be decided this way. The king of the north will go into a place that a line has been drawn. And all his armies move backward. And the king of the south will come and meet him at that line. And the army of the south move backward. And two of them will engage in battle. You are to come with every instrument of warfare you can bring. Including, if you worship Yahweh, bring him to that battle as a king. If you worship devils, Baal, bring him to that battle. Whoever possesses you should be with you in that battle, because it's a battle of supernatural, mind, and the physical. And both of you will fight, even if it's going to take you the whole day. Both of you will fight until one person kills the other. If the king of the south kills the king of the north, then the north surrenders. In fact, normally when that happens, the north just flee. And many a times they become slaves, and they will pay tribute, taxes to the south. The same thing, if it was the south that their king was killed, they will be taken captive, or they will be allowed to live in their country or in their city, and they will pay taxes to the one who killed their king. Because now, that new king, that king is now also the king of the country that has been conquered. See, Israel is just enjoying some years of trying to be a nation. Let me paint the picture for you. Israel is about to become a nation, a formidable nation. This is the first real king. There have been puppets, that is people who come and go. There have been presidents who come and go. But this is a nation that is just about to stand on its feet. Saul has messed up the throne. Saul has disgraced Samuel. Saul has done so many bad things. Why? No, it was until he messed it up before God sent the devil to deal with him. The devil that he loved. So listen to this. A nation that is about to stand on their feet. Something quick is about to happen. This is the first time that they are about to be obliterated, to be wiped out from history, so that they do not even hatch out. That's the meaning. The chicken should not hatch out of the egg, so just destroy the eggs. So this was not just a physical battle. This was a supernatural battle between good and evil. Because the people of Israel came out of Egypt back to the land that God promised their forefathers. And they were already giants in the land. Many of them have already spoken words of defeat against themselves. And many of them have already perished in the wilderness. That's why when God tells you He's going to do something for you, just believe it and run with it. Don't go to put your intelligence into it. Please, leave it alone. Because that is the intelligence of heaven talking to you. Supernatural intelligence is far superior than physical intelligence. There are warfare that are not subject to physical activities. You have to combine the supernatural with the physical and also the mind. See, this guy is using propaganda machine. He's a bully. He knew, he sensed when Israel was not strong. Their God has told them that the God of Israel is no longer with the king. They know when God is not with you. And that's when they come to fight you. All this time that God was with Saul and Samuel was reigning in the throne before Saul came, and now behind the throne, and Saul did not want the voice and the powers of Samuel. He wanted to do his own thing. And also, let me tell you something. There are some of us who are set up for thrones and to be the power and the voices behind the thrones of the earth. When people like us are rejected, nations begin to suffer. They begin to suffer. And that's what happened to Saul. And it is at that point of time that the devil will send their champion to come and take people captives. Send me somebody. Let's do it the ancient way. Number one, why did you guys leave Egypt to come and disturb us in our land and try to conquer our land? We are here to terminate you guys forever. Someone is saying to you, why did you leave your country and come to our country to come and disturb us? Why don't you go and build your business in your own nation? Why don't you go and marry your own people and stay there? Why are you coming to us? Why do you need our own money? I want you to be aware of what is happening. And that is why many a time you bring your marriage from your own country to a new place The champions are waiting for you. They will destroy that marriage. You bring your education, whether you are a doctor or a nurse or a PhD to a new nation, they will lay it west for you. And many a time you give it up and you go back to where you come from. Why? You were not prepared. We are talking about supernatural warfare. You think everything is simply the mental. No. Here was a combination of three things: physical strength, mental agility, and supernatural forces. When you hear people like Goliath challenging you, they have delved very deeply into witchcraft. In the place where I was born, the place that I come from, my parents, the place where I wasn't born, where my parents come from. The place where my parents come from, their side of Africa, where my mother and father come from. They come from two different cities. But that county made up of 25 towns, little countryside. It's a county, big county. They are known for mighty sorcery of the highest kind that I've ever seen. Warfare has never been there. You don't go there to fight war. Why? Because their fathers brought the god of war called Kamalo or Kamalo. That's the god of war. They brought him and put him there. So you don't go there to fight war.
That's true.
You do not go there. All the war you hear, they are fighting war here in Africa, in Nigeria, in here and there. Never go there. You will be too crazy to go there. And if you want the best soldiers, you want the best fighters, whether with a machete or a spear or bow and arrow or with a gun, they come to hire my people. That's why boys from my place, including me, are not allowed to fight. Why? Because they will tell you, when war break out, when somebody want a fight with you, the spirit will come. Because they don't fight to settle a case and then everybody goes their way. No. When our boys fight, they will kill you because they will not stop until you die. So don't even start anything with them. You'll be wounded. A normal thing that a man holds you and can release you. When they hold you, you start hearing your bone breaking, your neck cracking until they let you go and you drop dead. It's crazy stuff. It's those of us who went to Jesus that those things left. But the rest of them who are involved in it, forget it, man. My father said to me that in those days, before, people used to hire our people to go and fight war for them. And they always come back. Nobody kills them. Why? You shoot at them, they disappear. You'll see somebody standing in front of you and you shoot at him and he goes away. Just like that. He just disappears into the wind. Why? I was fortunate to witness something. They have what they call the Obu, Obunkwa. The Obu is a house that is built in the center of every town in that county. Has it. Now you will hear them playing something. They say they will cut down a big tree and make some opening in two places, and you will see there is one of them playing that thing, and they will be shouting. There is a way they shout that thing. Now, before they go to war, each person that is about to go to war, you cannot leave your home and go to war. You go into that place. and they have a white chicken, pure white chicken, either a chicken or a rooster, and they will use it on the person. They will use it to clean the person, to incense the person. And in some other ways, they will kill the chicken, and they will pour the blood on the person and use the chicken while the chicken is still alive and dying, and they will use it to do something on the person. I've watched it. I've seen it physically. And then they do other things inside that place. When that person who walk quietly into that house, where the person walk slowly into it with the machetes, or with a gun, or with a bow and arrow, with a spear, whatever that person is going to war with. The person, you walk slowly into it. You don't wear no shoes. You only wear a shirt. And then they put a ram's hair skin around your hands. And then you go in there. By the time the person come out there, the person is shaking. The person is completely changed. And will leave that place and start going towards where the war is. And you see them coming out, all of them the same way. And they all move and they disappear and they are gone. When they come back, whether they come back in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night, or midnight, they know when they are coming back, and you see that thing sounding. And they are all back. And you cannot go to your home. You go back into that same place where you will be turned back into the normal person you were before you went in there. And it is from there then that they can now go home. This is real. Goliath did not come just to come and fight. He was well prepared in every area you can think of it. And they are sons and daughters of people who hate your people, who hate your fathers and mothers, and who went and settled score. This is what we call ancient feud. I'm going to show you another ancient feud with the story of Esther. This is one of them. What we see here was not just a war between Israel and the Philistines, or Philistines against the Israelites. It was ancient feud. They came out to take our land. They didn't belong here. And they want to belong here. And now they are trying to be a nation. The quicker we wipe them out, the quicker we deal with them. And when people have dealt with you in the inner forces, then they can now come out to deal with you physically. That's what is happening here. You now hear that the Philistines were already in the land of Judah. They've already stepped into the land of Judah to tell Israel, listen, we are not joking. We want you guys out. You guys will either be a slave or you go out from where Abraham comes from. That's what we are really dealing with here. But when people tell you this story, they just tell you the story of how David killed Goliath. They don't bring this out. What was the real issue here? Why did your fathers come to our land? And all that Israel can say is that God has given this land, the Philistines, the this. You can see all the nation that God spoke about that he has given over to them. And they better be prepared to fight to get it, to get the land, because it's behind them. But when they are stubborn and rebel against God, well, they've made themselves slaves already. And the enemy knows when you are not prepared. They know when you've rebelled. They know when your God has turned his back on you. And that's when they come. All this time that Samuel was in charge, they didn't come. Now they are here. Because there is a bad king. There's a wicked king in the land. And that opens the door for people who should not have attacked you to bring their champion.
True.
Be careful about your nation. You may end up having a leader who will open doors for demons and for Baal to begin a physical activity that will wipe out your economy, because that's where it begins. Your economy will collapse. Then housing will collapse. The car industries will collapse. The electronic industry will collapse. Your own kind of Wall Street will collapse. Why? Because what makes that thing to work has been taken out by God. There is something that makes, see, it's not just your mental ability, your educational training, professional skills that is making that thing work. There are things behind the scene. There is a law in the universe. God put a law of a blessing and a curse in the universe. The one you turn to is the one that will work for you. There is a place where a nation will anger God and reach a place where God comes in and take back the blessing. When once the blessing is taken out, you'll be struggling. That's why America has been struggling as a nation. Do not worry about what they are telling you, that at the age of number 45 is what we call Trump. Why? We don't have a president. I'm saying it with all my heart. We do not have no leader, no president. The White House is empty. At this time, we are talking about in the Bible, it was like America. There was a king, but there was no king. Go and read chapter 16 of 1 Samuel. And you hear God telling Samuel, don't worry about King Saul. I have rejected him. I'm no longer with him. I'm not on that throne with him. He's there by himself. And you guys are going to suffer. No allies. When somebody rises up in your nation as a leader and he insults everyone who have been helping your country, that's a warning. That's a danger. And there will always be men and women like that will want to be in position of power and do nothing about it except causes pain and destruction. Because that's who they are. And your job is to make sure that such people do not come to power. The problem that we are having in today's world is that people are too cheap, that they cannot think for themselves. That's the greatest problem we are facing in today's world. Bin Laden will rise up among the Arab people, and all the idiots will follow him. Oh, we found a Messiah. Every Messiah is not a Messiah. There are Messiahs that are Lucifer incarnated or reincarnated. Let's use the word. Not incarnated. Incarnation is about Jesus. Are you guys not the servants of Saul? How did he know about it? See, we are reading the Bible. You are seeing it. Are you guys not the servants of Saul? He should have said, are you guys not Israelites? Are you guys not the servants of Saul? Which means they knew about Saul. They knew about him, that he doesn't have power to fight as a king anymore. There was a time that Saul used to be in charge of the army. all throughout the life of David, David goes ahead to fight. That's what ancient kings do. And here is this playboy. They know when you are not capable, when the power, the spirit that possesses you, so that you were able to do formidable and mighty and incredible things that turn you into an incredible Hulk, even though you are a little man. They know that you don't have it. And they'll find a man who has such things from their own dark side to present to you. Let's go to the next verse. Are you not all servants of Saul? Where is Saul, by the way? Why is he not here? Is he not supposed to be? Which also tells you something. There's something you should know about Goliath. You've never heard this, but you are going to hear it. Goliath was not just the fighter, the champion of the Philistines. He was their ruler. No champion comes under a king. Champions are the rulers. This guy was a ruler. This is a prince. This is a ruler among the Philistines. It's one of the lords of the land. And there was no one like him among the Philistines. Everyone rallied around him. Let's go to the next verse. Where is Vicky?
Right here. Okay, verse 9. If he is able to fight with me and kill me, then we will be your servants. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then you shall be our servants and serve us.
You see that? Simple. That's how it's going to be. We are not shedding your blood. You're not going to shed the blood of our little ones. Let's make it easy for ourselves. Since your king doesn't want to fight, because that's the meaning. Since your king, Saul, does not want to fight, for whatever reason I don't know, but we know, then send me one of his general. Let him come and face me. Send one of the lords of the Israelites. And Saul was so arrogant, such a bully, that he had no lords, no powerful people that he raised. Saul was everything. Like you see a president who is supposed to be master of the economy, master of money, master of business, a salesman, a lawyer. At this, when you find any man or woman who want to be a jack of all trades, walk away. Know that that country is in big trouble. Hitler did it. Remove all the generals who were masters of war. He removed them, shoot them, demoted them, destroy them, and put people who will say, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, who never challenge him, who never gave him no ideas. Only what Hitler says counted. How did German fare? German became a disgraced nation. 6 million Jews were wiped out. If I tell you how many millions of humans were killed by one man's ambition in the name of the German people, which was a lie. That's why when somebody is telling you, I'm doing it for your country, do not accept it. There are very few people who come to power who are doing it for the country or for the people. All it takes is for someone to shout, I'm doing it for America. America for Americans. The difference between Europeans and America is this. Europeans at least think. I'm not talking about Russians. Russians are not Europeans. I don't count them as Europeans. They're different people. Their way of life is completely different from the rest of Europe. Most of Eastern Europe, who are not in alliance with the European Union or with the rest of Western Europe, they are different people. The way they think, the way they act, very, very different. Any fool can come up and fool them and tell them it is for Mother Russia. It's for Mother Russia, and they will agree. Go and tell that to a Frenchman or a German or an Italian or a British, a Canadian, they will challenge you. A Norwegian, a Swiss, a Danish, all those countries, Iceland, Finland, they will challenge you. Holland, they will tell you, come on, wait, give us a break. Let's think about this. That's how they are. The difference between Americans and the rest of Europe plus Canada is Americans say this, I feel. Europeans, Western Europeans says, I think. That's the difference. They think. They are thinkers. Few people in our nation, the USA, are real thinkers. When it comes to politics, you can sweep people with feelings. Whereas in Europe, you cannot. They will think first. Then they will give you an answer. You cannot sweep them by race. You cannot sweep them by culture. You cannot sweep them by sweet talk. You cannot sweep them by anything. They want to think first and investigate you. That's how Western Europeans do their business. That's how Canadians do their business. America is a different place altogether. And there are no elders in America, by the way. There are no elders in America who can step in to say no when somebody is doing wrong. There are no people. It's wherever the bigger voice, whether it's a voice of good or evil, goes, then everybody goes there. Few people stand back, like myself, to watch. In Europe, you cannot do it. In the Arab world, one family says something and everybody goes there. And that's it. Sorry for them. Let's go to the next verse.
Okay. Verse 10. And the Philistine said, I defy the armies of Israel.
Listen to this. What does it mean to defy? When somebody said defy, check it in the dictionary quickly. Florence, where are you? Help me here. I defy the army of Israel, the army of the Prince of God. What's the meaning of defy? I'm not going to tell you. Not that I don't know. But we want to break it down to ABC. Because sometimes I'm too intellectual.
Okay, defy is openly resist or refuse to obey.
There you go. Let me give you another meaning of the word. I curse, I reject. My job is to destroy Israel. My job is to crush you guys. In the name of my God, I will do it. I stand here as a champion to destroy you folks. And I put the greatest curse of the gods of the Philistines who have kept our fathers and our forefathers alive in the name of their gods. I destroy all of you. That's the meaning of it. Read that verse again.
And the Philistine said, I defy the armies of Israel this day.
I destroy the armies of Israel. I curse it. It doesn't stand a chance. And this is a man raising his voice so that everybody hears him. You guys don't stand a chance. You are all little men. We are prepared for one. You think we don't know that you guys are not prepared? Continue.
Give me a man that we may fight together.
There you go. Give me a man and let us fight. Who is strong among you? I rebuke all of you in the name of my gods and goddesses. He put so much fear into them. See, you are going to encounter people, openly or secretly, who are like this in the universe. That's why I'm preparing you for this. Those of you who are going to be millionaires and billionaires, I am spending my time to prepare you for this kind of things because you're going to see it. Your co-workers are going to go to Santeria. They are going to go to this. They are going to go to voodoo. They are going to go to Africa, India, Haiti, England, North and South Dakota, Arizona. They are going to go to Louisiana. They are going to go to New York and do it and pay good money for it. Somebody keep opening your phone. We've told you, mute yourself. Please mute yourself so that we don't hear the noise around you. Please, thank you. All right. See, this is the second time he's saying, give me somebody. Let him come and fight me. Because I'm ready to kill that person. Because they are not as strong as I am. Continue.
Verse 11. When Saul and all Israel heard these words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? They were afraid. Why? They don't have what that guy has. They don't stand a chance. Go to verse 12.
Now David was the son of that Ephrathite of Bethlehem, Judah, whose name was Jesse, and who had 8 sons. And the man was old, advanced in years, in the days of Saul. The 3 oldest sons of Jesse had gone to follow Saul to the battle. The names of his 3 sons who went to the battle were Eliab, the firstborn, next to him, Abinadab, and the 3rd son was Shammah.
See?
David was the youngest.
Okay, now listen to this. This person is bringing back the history. He's now introducing David back into the story. Chapter 16 already tells us the story of David and how after the anointing, the Spirit came upon him, Saul sent for him. When you have the Spirit, the throne will need you. Because that's where you belong. David was already playing harp in the court of Saul. He was already serving in the palace of Saul. But he was little known. And at this time, there was David's age mate that was Saul's son, Jonathan. And they are now friends. So it doesn't mean that this is where David is introduced. David was introduced to us. And his job in Saul's palace, he was already known. His father gave him a young goat, bread, wine to take to Saul. Saul was the one that sent messengers to Jesse to send his son who can play the harp to play music for him. That was David. And Saul did not know that the David that was playing music for him, working for him, was the person to take over from the throne. And here David is introduced again. His father, Jesse, was now an elderly man. 3 of his brothers, Abinadab, Eliab, Abinadab, and Shammah, were soldiers. They were tall and strong men. That's why when Samuel saw Eliab, he thought that Eliab was the one, because he was tall. He was a soldier. Let's go to the next verse, verse 12. Is that verse 14? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. David was the youngest, and the 3 oldest followed Saul. Verse 15. But David occasionally went and returned from Saul to feed his father's sheep at Bethlehem.
Okay, you see, so David was, see, this is bringing it back and forth. So David was going from Saul's palace back and forth to take care of his father's sheep, his father's flock at Bethlehem, Ephrath in Bethlehem, and then was coming back to Saul. So he was going back and forth. Whenever his father needed him, he goes back to his elderly father. I wonder what the rest of because the father had eight children. So there is David, one, there is 4 of them. 3 were in the army. David was working in the palace of the king. The king didn't know that he has been anointed to be a king. Well, what was the other 4 doing? That's what I was wondering. So David's primary occupation was shepherding. I wonder why. Why is God really interested in people who are shepherds? Why does he like them? Roslyn, you hear what I'm saying? Mary, you should help us here. Why is it that all these people we are hearing about, they were all shepherds, all the great people? For example, Abraham was a shepherd. Isaac was a crop rearer, so he wasn't a shepherd. But his father's servant kept animals for him. Jacob was a shepherd. Moses was a shepherd. Rachel was a shepherd. Leah was a shepherd. So what is this about shepherds? David was a shepherd. This is crazy. So if you are, Mary, tell us something. Tell us something. Why do God go to choose kings and rulers and leaders from shepherds? And also remember that the first king of Israel, Saul, was a shepherd too. Tell us something. I want to hear something from somebody else.
Yes, please. I believe that being a shepherd, you have a tender heart. You know how to manage sheep because they are tender. You have to love them. You have to take very good care of them. So you have that spirit. You have that that image of being tender, of being a careful person with animals. With sheep. So if you are carrying that spirit, you take it on people, so you do the same thing to people. So that spirit in you, that tenderness, that good heart, that being careful for people is there with you. So I believe that is why God chooses sheep as shepherds.
Okay. That's very good. Thank you very, very much. Is there somebody else who want to add to this? All right.
In addition to that, I think that a shepherd is a guardian and a protector.
Yep.
watch over the sheep.
Yeah.
And he had to protect them. He guarded them, and he knew how to fight. That's where he honed his skills.
There you go.
That's
A guardian, a protector, compassion. Mary talks about compassion, tenderness. Zelina talks about protector, guardian. Somebody else want to say something?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think, if I may add to Mary, management skills.
There you go. Management skill. Annie, I hope you write out all these qualities. Victoria, when you go through this video, and Mary, please write out these qualities because I want to have them in my notes. Management skill, guardian, protector, compassion, tender-hearted, tough spirit. And I'm going to add one more thing to all that you guys have said.
I would say assertiveness also.
What is that?
Assertiveness.
Effectiveness, okay? You are very effective, okay? Passion. Passion. In bracket, you put the effectiveness, passion. But then let's add some more things here.
I think a deep thinker, because if you're watching sheep, you have a lot of time to actually...
Oh my goodness. Can you guys see? Under my guardianship, Victoria has become a philosopher of the highest kind. A thinker. Please add that to it. Look at that. That is big. I'm going to ask Cambridge University to give you a PhD. They are going to award you a doctorate. That is big. You have time to think. That is awesome. A shepherd is a thinker. And also there is something here. A shepherd has the spirit of an ox. You don't break down easily. Routine. Make sure you put the routine. Next, availability. You are available. See, David was going from Saul back to go and see the sheep. Always available. That's what we are seeing here. Wow, 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 wow. Woo! Let's go to the next verse. Verse number 16.
Verse number 16. And the Philistine drew near and presented himself 40 days, morning and evening.
Did you hear that? He was coming out to curse, to challenge the Israelites every single day for 40 days. Morning, what again? Evening, night.
Morning and evening.
Morning and evening.
Wow.
Do you know what he did by this? He totally destroyed the army of Israel, who stood there morning and evening for 40 days, listening to this kind of crap. He totally destroyed them. Think about this. There are people who have been stationed, and they've been doing the same thing to you. And you've not...
They're working psychology.
Yeah. And you have not reacted to it. You've not challenged them. You were born to challenge situations, nations. You were born to challenge individuals. People who have taken you or yours captive. You were born to set yourself free. Somebody and something, forces, have been challenging you since you were born, cursing you, defying you, reciting ancient incantations against you, reciting ancient enchantment against you, pouring out spells against you, and you are in church reciting the Lord's Prayer. And that has not done you no good. That's why the Lord has decided that history be changed. Please write that down. God has decided that history be changed so that your history will be made. Please remember what I've just said. God has decided that if you are willing, history will be changed so that your history will be made. Because sooner or later, during this month of June, the Holy Spirit gonna carry you and turn you into a different person. And you will not keep listening to the propaganda machine of darkness. You will not keep listening to sermons and preachings and reading books that are of no use and making other people rich. The days whereby history will be changed for you so that your history will be made. Because if God doesn't change your history and the history of your environment and your geography, your own history will never be made. What I'm telling you is very, very serious. People go to the world of darkness to change their history, and they successfully do that. You cannot do what they do to do that. You don't have neither the money, nor do you have the heart, the mindset of what it takes. If I tell you what people out there do to get what they have, you'll be like, whoa, I'm not ready to do that. But I'm going to tell you what to do in the kingdom of God so that your history will be made. We are going to stop here until Mary, what's the time? What's the time? And Eastern time. What's the time?
2:43.
We'll be back here at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. I will come in here at 4 o'clock, which is 5 o'clock, just to make sure. And if there are people, during that time, I will continue the broadcast. Even if there are no people, I will still continue broadcasting all by myself at 4 o'clock.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, I will continue broadcasting at 4 o'clock. If you will be there, come. It's not a must that you be there. The main service is happening at 7 o'clock.
Is that 4 Central?
4 Central, 5 Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah, if you are not able, go and start your weekend and come back by 7. And just come and spend like 30 minutes and then go and start your weekend. I'm not gonna keep you here at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, but I will be here. And it will all continue. All right. Bye-bye. Okay.
Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.